Isn't she lovely? Thank you for being here so much. I really appreciate each and every one of you being here. I decided, when Shay and I were talking about me flying out and doing a talk about love, I thought to myself, you know, what can I talk about? There's so much to talk about around love. We can talk about self-love, we can talk about relationships with others, we can talk about relationships with friends, dating, marriage, the whole lot. And then I thought, could I have an hour? I could talk about anything for an hour. 10 minutes is a challenge. So as I was trying to decide what to talk about, this woman rang me. And this woman and I speak quite often. And she said to me, Christina, I've tried everything. I've tried dating. I've gone out and I've done this. I've met people, I've met guys, I've shown up, I've not had expectations. I've done everything that you're supposed to do. And they all just fade away, or they go away, or they ghost, or they just disappear, and I'm done. I'm done. Every time this happens, I have a little bubble of hope inside me, and that bubble bursts, and I'm filled with anxiety while it's happening, and now I have all this self-doubt about myself. Why me? Why do they go and meet someone else? And I said, that's fantastic. That is fantastic. That's what I'll talk about. Thank you. Thank you so much. And I said, that's fantastic as well, because now that we brought it into the light, we can address it. We can work with this. We can talk about this. Why does this happen? I get this question over and over again. Why is love so hard? Why do we get so anxious about it? Why? And, you know, anxiety is an epidemic today. I mean, we became aware of stress in the 80s and the effect it has on our health. And anxiety today is rampant. When we go out to meet somebody, when we go out to get a bit of romance, we want to feel lovely. We want to feel good. We want to feel sweet, and we want to feel like a bit of excitement and also a bit of safety. A bit of security that, you know, we're doing something here. So I thought, you know, check it, I'm going to wing it to this night. I'm just going to say what comes up. I'm just going to say whatever feels like needs to be said. So this is from the heart. I have nothing prepared. This is completely what I was thinking about on the drive here, that I want to share about why love is hard today and what we can do instead. You know, there's a positive in there, you know, we are going to be positive. So the first thing is that the way dating is set up today, if you're looking for something really casual, if you're looking for a one-night stand, if you're looking, yeah, just for something with no real meaning, no attachment, some fun, it's perfect. But most of the people I talk to really want love. They want something that lasts. And it might not be forever, and it might not be for a lifetime, but they want it to last for a while anyway. And we have this dating system set up where it's like a shopping trip. We have these apps, and you swipe through, it's like a catalog of people, and it reminds me of other catalogs. It's like, okay, switch from app for guys to shoes. You know, I feel like looking at shoes now. Which are the prettiest shoes? Which is, and it's when you're treating love like that, like it's disposable, like it's so casual. These are people. When you treat it like that, when anybody does, it creates this environment where intimacy just doesn't come into it. We stop seeing each other as human beings. So there's a woman called Jennifer, and Jennifer liked Mike. Jennifer went out with Mike a few times, and they went out and they text just about every day, and then all of a sudden Mike's not contacting Jennifer so much. And Jennifer's wondering, what's wrong? What did I do? What's happening? What's going on here? Now, Mike likes Jennifer, but Mike also likes Maria. And Maria thinks Mike is great. But she also likes Tom, because Tom's so lovely in general. So well, what we have here is, and then we could also see Tom liking Jennifer, but it didn't happen like that. So what happens here is that we have this perpetual addiction to looking. And I would say, for anybody that wants to change it up. There was this guy on OkCupid who wrote on his profile, "If you message me and I don't reply, I'm so sorry. I only talk to one woman at a time." There's a queue of women waiting to talk to this guy. Because I contacted him and I said, "Oh my goodness, can I talk to you?" About something else entirely. "Well, how's it going? You know, what's happening?" So, and this is exactly it. You know, let's do it differently. Let's exactly state what we want, whether it's an online profile, whether it's you're talking to somebody in conversation, whether it's two people meeting in here, like Shay suggested. Let's do it differently. Let's say exactly what our dreams and hopes are. Why not? Let's break the pattern. NLP. I'm sure many of you are familiar with it. Break the pattern. Break the pattern. So that's the first thing. I could talk about it for an hour, but I've only like 5 minutes, 4 minutes, 3 minutes. Number 2 is the impeccable commitment. It's what I call it. I call it the impeccable commitment, and it is about making an impeccable commitment to make your own well-being priority. You have the right to do that. The absolute right. And when you do, watch anxiety snap. It goes. Because that's what happens when we put our happiness onto someone else and what they're doing, whether they're texting us or not. Like when Jennifer said to me, "All men are arseholes." She sent me a text. "All men are arseholes." And I was replying to her, "Yeah, you know, men, no, they're lovely, they're great, you know, I love men, look at them, you know, yeah, some of them are, but so are we sometimes, you know, it's fine." And then before I could send it to her, she said, "Oh, never mind, he sent me a text. It's all good." My bad. I'm fine now. So this is it exactly. So when we make our own impeccable commitment to making our own well-being a priority, it busts anxiety. So I could talk about that for a lot more, but we'll go on to number 3, and this is the core wounds. I've not met a person yet that does not have these core wounds, these little frozen bubbles of pain inside. And they could stem from anything from the boy who rejected you at the age 13 to serious trauma, assault, rape even, to somebody who's been in a war, or it could be something very, very small, but it still is painful. And these become frozen inside of us. And we carry them. And what happens when they're frozen inside of us is they speak, and they speak through our actions, and they speak through our fears, mostly. And they speak especially actions that come from fear. So these little core things need to be melted with love, released, let go of. And when we have a bunch of people walking around with these frozen bits inside and dating from there, you can't hang your coat on that, never mind your heart, you know? So it's important that we do take care of these things, not just do the systems, not just do all these methods, but actually these core fears, these core wounds need to be healed. It's all about healing. At the end of the day, it's more about release. And if it's okay, can I read the poem?
Sure.
Does anyone like David White? Yeah?
Yes.
Yes? Thank you. I'm sure there's more than one. Can I read your poem?
Yes.
By David White?
Yes.
Okay. I love this one. It's called The True Love. There's a faith in loving fiercely, the one who is rightfully yours. There's a faith in loving fiercely, the one who is rightfully yours, especially if you have waited years, and especially if you never believed you could deserve this loved and beckoning hand held out to you this way. I'm thinking of faith now and the testaments of loneliness and what we feel we are worthy of in this world. What we feel we are worthy of in this world. Years ago in the Hebrides, I remember an old man who walked every morning on the grey stones to the shore of baying seals, who would press his hat to his chest in the blustering salt wind and say his prayers to the turbulent Jesus hidden in the water. And I think of the story of the storm and everyone waking. I think of the story of the storm and everyone waking and seeing the distant yet familiar figure far across the water, calling to them. And how we are all preparing for that abrupt waking and that calling and that moment we have to say yes. That moment we have to say yes. Except it will not come so grandly. It will not come so grandly, so biblically, but more subtly and intimately in the face of the one you know you have to love. So that we finally step out of the boat. When we finally step out of the boat toward them, we find everything holds us and everything sustains our courage. And if you wanted to drown, you could. If you wanted to drown, you could. But you don't. You don't. Because finally, after all this struggle and all these years, you simply don't want to anymore. You've simply had enough of drowning, and you want to live, and you want to love, and you will walk across any territory, however fluid and however dangerous, to take the one hand you know belongs to yours. Courage lives in the heart. I call on you all to believe in the magic of love again, because it is real and it does exist. And when you find it, you will cross any territory to take that one hand that belongs in yours. Thank you.